Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai, and today I'm gonna be reacting to Kowloon Generic Romance Episode 8. But first, let's talk about Episode 7. So we got Kujirai learning more about what she is, but obviously there's still big gaps, as even experts don't really know exactly what the deal is. So she talks to Miyuki and asks him if she's a zirconian, and the answer is not really. And also a big part, I'm guessing, of why Miyuki was so obsessed with her at the beginning of the series. Probably wanting to use her in some way for the revenge that he's gonna enact against his dad. But yeah, she's not. And they have an interesting conversation. Because Miyuki is like, okay, well, if you're fine with living like this, then why not continue as such? And she's like, okay, but I still feel like I need to know what came before me so that I can fully embrace my own self and become the absolute version of myself. And that's what really gets Miyuki's attention. And then they talk a little bit about Kudo. And yeah, here. You can stand tall and say, I am who I am. You already are the absolute self, so what's the problem? And well, I feel like I said this last time. I think Miyuki is kind of projecting. I do think it applies to both of them here. No matter what kind of evaluation you give yourself and how much you acknowledge yourself, without gaining an equivalent evaluation from others, you won't feel satisfied. Of course, you know. That also could apply to like Yaomay and even probably Gwen, but since these two are the only ones in the room, I feel like that's why it's very important on how it applies to both. Gwen with how, you know, he wants to be his absolute self, but the obstacle is his dad, and then Kujirai and the way that always gets compared to Kujirai B. Once you don't get his recognition, you cannot become the absolute self. Yeah, because as much as, even if you do accept everything about yourself, then what if no one else accepts you? What if the one person you wish that would accept you as who you are doesn't? That would definitely be a big it would cause a lot of pain, but also just there would be quite the rift between you and your goal. You ask yourself if you're a zirconian, but the answer is no. However, you're not a clone either. Okay. We don't know how to describe it accurately. You're like a posterior generic. Whatever that means. But apparently, like, zirconians are not made of flesh and blood, so I guess Kujirai is. But even then, she's just like Kowloon, as we see in the last scene, where the pizza delivery guy cannot see her. So even though she should be just as tangible as Gwen and Yaomay, just she doesn't register in the perception of other people. And we don't know, like, it depends, but it depends on what. So that's still a big thing. But yeah, Kujirai finding that out is pretty big. And Yaomay's reaction to it, it's I pulled at my heartstrings. But yeah, other than that, it was a big Miyuki and Gwen episode. Almost forgot about the scene with Gwen and Kudo at the beginning, which I'm still like, who is gonna end up, like, is the series gonna validate either of their perspective, and we're still like, okay, this isn't real, therefore it's worthless and doesn't have any value, versus, yeah, it's not real, but then what of it, It still feels just as real. And we end this scene with Kudo leaving, and Gwen is still being like, I'm gonna take you away and save you, or whatever. And it's like, I kinda see both of their perspectives on this one. Then we get the Miyuki and Gwen flashback of how they met. And it was, yeah, kind of a meet cute. And just right from the get-go, Miyuki was able to see right through Gwen's, I don't know if I'd say like facade, but just kind of a persona he puts up on. And whereas Gwen couldn't in the past, see through Miyuki's masks. He just accepted Miyuki as who they are, Like, what's that line that I really like? It's right at the end. Oh, maybe it's Gwen who says that. Yeah, it was. When Gwen says, like, even if you have a female appearance, even if you now have a female appearance, I can still say that I like you. Or something along those lines. But I couldn't find it in the specific one. That to me, I was like, like, yeah. He just sees Miyuki for who they are and accepts them completely and fully. Like, wow. Like, I really didn't, like, get hit by that emotionally last time, because I was just like, okay, but how does that affect Miyuki and all the mysteries regarding, like, the past and everything. But now I'm like, oh my god. If someone said that to me, I'm like, I totally understand falling in love. Especially if Miyuki does end up being a non-binary, like, oh, even more relatable. Like, yo, Gwen is like the ideal person. But yeah, it's like okay, they're really making it seem like they're meant to be together. But because of Miyuki's still being hung up on making their father suffer, it's like okay, so because of that, they don't feel like there's a space to give themselves happiness. And there's a whole thing that we still really haven't gotten into with the whole like Miyuki wanting to get pregnant. We still don't know what Gwen thinks of that. You know? Would he even want kids if Miyuki can't have them? So I feel like Miyuki really is putting a lot of chains around himself that are not necessary. But I feel once we get the full picture, you know, like an actual flashback of their childhood, then I feel like I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, it's not healthy, but it's understandable. Also, yeah, what is up with their tongue being like a snake's? Nikki just says like something about it being like the translation I'm looking at right now says my upbringing is not good. But when I think of upbringing, I mean like the way that you were raised, not the way that you were born. So I'm not sure. I wonder if it also has something to do with these snake tattoos all over their body. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. So let's get into the new episode. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so that's what that was about. Oh, yo, the music. Oh, Kujirai in the shadows and Yaomay in the light. Same. No, don't take too long in coming back. Oh, I'm glad he asked. Hmm. Really? Oh. Well, if he's gonna change his attitude, I'll forgive it. Man, I'm gonna miss Yaomay for however long she's gone. Yeah. Mm. I wonder if there's something that can be done so that Kujirai and other people like her can exist outside of Kowloon. But yeah, I feel like there's no way that this show ends with something that would feel like her disappearing so easily is something that it's fine. It would feel like betraying the series' main theme. Another flashback. Are we gonna go with the flashbacks all the way until she dies? We knew that. Mm-hmm. She was kinda endearing. I was just about to say. Mm. Uh-huh. Mm. Oh, hmm. Hmm. Oh. Okay, we're getting little tidbits here and there. Just getting to see more why Miyuki would hate his dad. Wait, that's the guy that was when we first saw Yulong. Not the kind of face I expected. Oh, ooh, we got a rat on our hands. Mm. Oh man. Oh man. This is so complicated. Whatever's going on between these two. Mm, he's still thinking about Kujirai. I was just about to say, like, whenever he says this, who is he thinking of? Oh, okay. I didn't think we'd see Yaomay again so soon. Oh. Well, yeah. Her friendship means the world to her. Huh. Maybe the money she gains in Kowloon doesn't count in the rest of the world? God damn. Oh, oh, Yaomay. That's nice of him. He didn't have to do that. Oh, former job, huh? Hmm. Surely, right? At some point, she's bound to find someone that can see it. No, don't bring that up to you two. I don't even want to think about that. Oh, is that Dr. Wong? Hmm. Or maybe I'm confusing him. Oh, what's his name? Hmm. Not surprised. Oh, come on. But fair enough. Oh, I think that's yeah, the guy, the rat. Sorry, the spy. No, it's not the spy. I think it's Yulong. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay. What? We don't get to. I don't. We don't get to see the rest of that sentence. Hmm. I think Yulong may know that she was the one he was talking to. Oh. Oh. Ah. We just. We just. We just. We just get this, and then we don't. Mm. I feel conflicted. July 1st. Wait a minute. Ending! Uh, I. I. I feel conflicted about Kudo and Kujirai sleeping together. But it's done, so I just the more I think about this relationship, I don't think it's gonna work out in the long run. But let's just, let's keep watching. Of course. Let's see what happens with this. After credits? No? Okay. We usually do, so. Yeah. I started saying something about like July 1st, and then like I just went back to Kujira and Kudo because that that really surprised me. But yeah, I don't think I ever paid attention to see like we've gotten specific dates before. Honestly, like I didn't think anything about it always looking like summer because Like, we don't get dates, so we don't know how long, this whole, like, 7 episodes before this, For all we know, it could just a month-ish that the whole first 7 episodes could have happened. But now I'm like pretty sure that it just loops. Now once the summer seems like it's close to ending, it starts back again. Also, it didn't occur to me before, but once we saw Yaomay, her savings not working, I was like, oh yeah, makes sense. If, the rest of the world doesn't recognize Kowloon, then that means anything from it. It's basically completely invisible. Oh, and Yaomay's reaction to that, that got me a little emotional. Because to her, that's basically a confirmation of what she's been fearing the most. Makes sense that Miyuki's loaded, considering who he was dating / working for. But, honestly, I think Yulong is the one that got more information out of the conversation, rather than Yaomay. Although he did get the whole thing about like time not really passing in Kowloon. It seems like it's stuck in the season that it was probably demolished in. But yeah, she's doing it for Kujirai, and Yulong is doing it for Miyuki. Which, when you put it like that, I'm doing it for a friend. It does sound similar, but a bit different. Oh, here. I wanted to go back where Yaomay's talking about when she first saw Kowloon. It was cold at night. I wanted to find a place before sunset. So it's not that she wanted, obviously, she didn't know about Kowloon. She just wanted a place to stay. And maybe somehow Genetera reacted to those feelings? It was March, right? But when she entered there, it was summer. I hurried to enter. And then she realizes it's always midsummer. It's the same in time. The only thing that has not changed is Genetera in the sky. So that's gotta be... I think Genetera is definitely responsible for the Kowloon phenomenon. But still, like the finer details of how that thing works, I don't know if we're actually gonna get them. How deep into science are we actually gonna get? As for, like, I completely forgot about Kujirai and Kudo, but the last time we did see them was Kudo hugging her and telling him, I promise I won't go anywhere. And obviously, Kujirai, very blinded by rose-tinted glasses, wanting to believe that what Kudo is saying applies to her and not only her, but we as the audience know that his words are actually directed towards Kujirai B. And at first I wasn't like sure, but then we get her silhouette and I'm like, oh no, no, that's pretty clear answer. So that's why I'm very conflicted about what we see about them at the end. Kudo is just, really trying to project his feelings onto this Kujirai. I still believing her to be the same person deep down. Even though time and time again, this Kujirai keeps telling him, I'm not. And I've been actively doing what I can so that you see that I'm not the same person. But Kudo just, his heart and his brain, or rather his heart, won't let him believe that. He has not been able to grieve properly. So that's why things like this happen. For him, he's just, not able to put a clear line between them, obviously. Of course he can't. But then that's really unfair for Kujirai, who, like I said, has been pretty clear, If I like you, it's because of me and not the woman before me. But that just cannot get through to him, unfortunately. And that just makes me sad for Kujirai. Oh, okay. Let's go to this guy. This spy. Working for Miyuki's old man. Wait, his name is Xiaohei? Maybe my memory is failing me, but isn't the small girl who's friends with Kujirai that he's looking through with a binocular also called Xiaohei? I guess I'll have to check in my anime list to remember the name. But yeah, we're gonna have to be wary that there's someone watching. Now, what is Miyuki's dad searching for exactly? We don't know, but hopefully I'll keep it on the back of my mind so that I don't forget. But I feel like once we know, it's gonna be like, oh shit. Oh, and that moment when Miyuki's dad calls him what? Haoran? And at first it was like, maybe it's because that's what he wanted to first call him. But then, no, Miyuki's the name, that he chose for himself. But then we see the painting. It's like, no, Haoran is the name of the dead son. Oh man. It's, it's short, but it's effective. You can tell that Miyuki has been dealing with this with all his life. Treating Miyuki as just a substitute for Haoran. We also get Yulong sharing information about Kujirai B and what could have been her cause of death. But it's not fully sure. Like, yes, it was told to us that it was a suicide, but we don't, there could be something more to that. Until, we get the flashback, since I feel like we're leading to that. There's a small chance that actually she didn't intend to do that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I also like Gwen's monologue about like something that shouldn't exist being creepy. But like if it's right here in front of me when I can touch it, then surely there's gotta be something real about it. He doesn't say it, but I feel like that's a natural continuation of that line. Since we do follow it along with Kujirai eating her food and saying, I can taste that this is good. Which is basically what Gwen was thinking about. If I can touch this and taste it, then surely it must be real. So I like that Gwen is having more nuanced thoughts about this now, instead of just being very black and white about it. And it's actually, thinking more about Kujira as her own person. Yeah, he actually apologized. Like before, he actually was aggressive to her because she didn't know anything. And I was like, well, you don't know anything. And Kudo seems to care about you, so you're not so bad. And then he just leaves, but I'll give him credit where it's due. He definitely could be worse in the way that he treats her, but no, even if he's not being fully genuine, I still like that he seems to be able to recognize when he's been wrong before and try and be better. So yeah, I think those are gonna be my thoughts on this episode. So if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.